In case you missed it, Kaladesh went nuclear, and we've got a lot to talk about in today's video. The simplest way I can start today's video is I should have known better. I should have realized this is Wizards of the Coast, and that's it. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thank you again for hanging out with me on the channel. Now, this news, of course, by the time you get it, it's already a couple of days old. If you're one of those people out there who's already seen all this, you can skip it and move on. But if you haven't seen what's going on, and pardon my throat today, a little bit rougher than normal, Kaladesh, the name change they had, and I've attached the announcement inside today's video. So part of the video, you'll see this little 30-second thing going over the announcement, was the fact they changed the name from Kaladesh to Avishkar. If I'm pronouncing things wrong, sorry, too bad, so sad. But the point is, it was a name change. I mentioned it in a video when I was talking about the Twitch stream stuff that went on with the WotC incident. But what really happened was a lot behind the scenes over the next several hours. And that's what we need to talk about. Because this is one of those instances that if you bought Kaladesh, and yes, I have some Kaladesh, and I bought mine for like 130 bucks when it was released way back in 2016, was Kaladesh? September, I think. Because I remember going to the pre-release and having a great time with the torrential Gear Hulk at the time. But it's like 9 years old, guys. 9 years old. And now this has all come down the pipe. Now, what I mean by that is coming down the pipe is the fact the sales went nuclear on what boxes were available. Take a look at this, guys. Let's start out here first locally. If you go to a local store, you'll see $5.49. Sold out. Interesting. They had a couple in stock, and now they don't have any in stock. But then you can jump over, and you can take a look at things like eBay. And you can see here, look at that. It's a case going for $3,000. Another case for $3,000. A box for $1,400. It starts to make you wonder what's going on. But then you start looking at more boxes, $1,200, $1,200, $1,100. And you can kind of see where this is all going. Now, I can tell you guys that as I looked around, TCG Player, 990, and they sold tons of boxes as well, which I'll show you in the next slide here. When you look at the sheer volume of product that's sold, and it's because of things like the inventions. These Kaladesh inventions from the original set really made this product hit hard. People loved it. They loved the framework. Look at the Soul Ring. Look at Mana Crypt. These cards are still sought after today, although a lot of people bailed on them when they reprinted this kind of framing. But the point is, when it came out, a lot of people opened up tons and tons and tons of Kaladesh. And even now, look at the box prices. If you see these ones here and you kept scrolling, they get more and more expensive as the sales go on. It gets a little bit more crazy with each and every sale. Now, originally, I was going to share with you guys just a quick recording going down and scrolling through the eBay sold listings. Guys, it is crazy, okay, to see how many boxes sold. But the point I wanted to share with people, which I can just tell you, is the fact that we started out with sales in the 300 range. 300 became 400, 400 became 500, 500 became 700, and so on and so forth, till you saw the pictures I just shared with you, where it gets into the thousands. And everything's just getting sucked into the vacuum, and there's still people wanting more. But there isn't more to have. It's going to hit a price ceiling. But the craziness of this, that the fact that people, knowing now that the Kaladesh name, the history behind everything, the black and the colorist racist type of connotations of using the Kala with the Desh and all that, I read into it. You can read the thing yourself. If somebody hadn't told me that, I never would have known. They hired some outside group to do this. You can look at Alpha Investments video. He did a great job going over this stuff. But I want to focus on the actual sales. If you made it this far in the video, we're going to talk about the sales I just shared with you, because they are through the roof. When I'm getting emails saying, how many boxes do you have? I see some in your backdrop. Are you willing to sell them? I would like to buy all that you have. I'm not Alpha Investments. I'm not a wholesaler. I don't have that many boxes. I think I have 2 cases, maybe like 10 boxes left from when I was buying a lot of it. And no, they're not for sale. If anything, that just gives me a great prize for my patrons. But the idea that people are reaching out when they see this stuff now and just saying, I want to get that. How much are you selling that for? That is something I haven't really had happen here for a couple of years. Going back to when people were trying to buy the Urza's Destiny boxes and stuff I had, going back that far. This is one of those moments where the market goes nuclear. It doesn't just go into like, hey, we have enough power. No, it goes into overdrive. Okay, it goes beyond what most people consider rational, and people just start buying everything, and it just gets sucked into a vacuum. And that reminds me of things like Earthbind, Balance, Jihad from Arabian Nights, all those banned cards, Stone Throwing Devils, that kind of stuff. Cleanse, right? Cleanse, destroy all black creatures from Legends. When you look at all those other sets that had those things get sucked into the vacuum, and the sales we're witnessing right now that just happened. And overall, by the way, if you wanted to know, it's around 400 sales, okay, that have actually happened for Kaladesh. By the time you watch this video, it might be a little bit higher, but it's around 400 sealed booster boxes, okay? But that's hitting up everywhere that I could possibly find out that sales have happened. And this is not just, by the way, in the last couple of days. This counts as the last 90 days. Okay, 400 boxes, 386, sorry, 386, almost 400, 386 in the last 90 days. Of course, the vast majority of these happened in the last 4 days when all these announcements came down the pipe, where somebody may have started the snowball going down the hill by buying one box, and then somebody sees that sale because they're checking because they heard all this announcement, and then they buy a box, and then they buy a box, and they buy a box, and the word starts to spread. And before you know it, whew, you get a FOMO event that we haven't seen in a long time, which is why I called the title, It's Going Nuclear. Now, I went back and I was telling you guys that if you look at the past banned card list of things, everything eventually calmed down. You can find these cards again at quite reasonable prices. Yeah, you have to use some tricky wording to get through some of eBay stuff that protects against it. I know you won't find some of these things commonly found, but the idea that it happened, and we have a history of knowing what happens with these events, I can safely tell you that I'm pretty sure that most of these prices will calm down. That most of these will settle back down for the Kaladesh boxes at some point. But it may take a couple of years like it did with the other cards. It may not be an instant, it's going to go down after 90 days, 120 days. Probably not, because don't forget, somebody bought them at those prices. Somebody paid the higher price to get them, and when people pay a higher price, they are less likely to let things go at a cheaper price. Just the way the game's played, you know, they're not willing to take a hit, especially if they are able to hold on for the long term. And again, with Kaladesh being opened as much as it was, looking for the inventions, there's not nearly as much stock as people think. I was surprised that we got to 300 plus boxes, almost 400, 386, right? Yeah, 386. I'm surprised we got that high. And that's with some local stores I know that had a few boxes that got hit up. A few private citizens sold their boxes to friends of friends, and that added up to our 20, 30 boxes. I was surprised there was even that much hanging around, open and available on the market. Well, now it's getting less and less. And the ones that are available, of course, it's supply and demand. So the demand is still high, so the price is going up, up, up. There will be a ceiling. There will be a reckoning for these things as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how I would feel paying $1,000 a box. $1,200 a box, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a box. You're getting into like Urza's Destiny territory. Crazy, right? But that's the way some of these events happen. So I just wanted to let you guys know sales were huge. People are still looking and they still want to buy more. Now, how do you guys feel about events like this? Because again, if nobody had told me, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't even have thought about it. I think some people, sometimes to me, seem like they just, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. You guys let me know what you think. It's one of those weird ones. If I didn't know, I wouldn't have said anything. Yeah. Crazy to me. Crazy to think that a few words causes that kind of avalanche. Reminds me of 30th anniversary in some ways. Have to wait another weekend or two to see how the rest of these sales flush out and if more product comes to market, forcing the prices down. But as it stands right now, these are the results. Those are the boxes that sold, okay? And those boxes are sealed booster boxes and bundle packs, fat packs. Another offensive word that we don't use anymore, bundle packs now. Those also are included in those 386 sales. Just so you guys know, not just strictly draft boxes, but also the bundle packs, okay? So those are your sales. That's what's going on. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm still surprised. I'm a little bit flabbergasted that this much came to news. It's only because of the emails I started getting about the background, about asking how many boxes I had available for sale. I'm like, I don't really sell my stuff. But anyway, interesting stuff. Guys, put some comments in the comment section. How do you feel about this? What do you think is going on? And what do you think the end result will be? I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Oh, wait, it's the top 10. We will talk about the top 10 hottest selling cards in Magic this week. And then, of course, Sunday is the reserve list top 10. I'll see you guys then. And then the live stream, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. It never stops here, does it? Have a great one. Now, here's the official update from Wizards of the Coast that came out December 10th of 2024. Yeah, I'm giving you guys a little chance here to read everything, pause it, do whatever you need to do, go to the original website. I'm posting this up there because you got to have all the information. And the fact that I didn't think this was a big deal, changing the name that much, has really, it got me, okay? Let's be honest, guys, it got me. I didn't expect much to come of this, which is why I didn't report on it. And now it looks like everything's gone, crazy. And now we have something to talk about because what's happened with Kaladesh is something of note. So let's take a moment here to realize that this bit of wording has caused all kinds of craziness. Hey guys, welcome back to the end of the video. That's right, we're here once again. It's like we do this every day or something. Deja vu? I don't think so. This is what is deserved. This is warranted because these are the patrons of the channel. These are the supporters who make this stuff happen. And a special thanks and shout out as well to all the stores who helped me out with this, getting all those numbers together. I do appreciate your time and efforts, guys. I know I'm leaning on you a lot lately. Thanks again. Well. Ramble jamble! Ramble! Jamble! Kaladesh. So let's talk about it. Got some Kaladesh right there. One of the boxes I keep in the front. By the time you're watching this video, and here we are at the end, I went and looked. So I have 6 boxes in a sealed case, and I have 2 fat packs somewhere back in here, as well as a couple loose boxes. So 2 more loose boxes. So I have nine in total, and I bought them for like $134. I remember back in the day, like when the pre-release time, I think $134, $124, something like that. I have to look on the spreadsheet, but the point is, it's amazing to see how events like this can happen and everyone gets everything tied up in a knot. And if I didn't, I wouldn't even have thought, like, I didn't even mention it in the other video, really. I'm like, oh, they changed the name. They don't like how they're using it. They said there's some problems with it, so they're not using it anymore. It's how, if anything, it's like people say about me, is like things just don't bother you. And it's like, yeah, I just don't think about that stuff sometimes. Probably because I think about it too much at work sometimes. But it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching this one with a 10-foot pole. I don't need to get involved. But talking about the sales and what actually happened, that's kind of crazy. That's really high. And people went looking to find those. I got emailed. Three emails asking if I sell boxes. Highest price was $850. Kind of a low ball offer by today's standards, right? Meanwhile, I'm thinking $800. Why is somebody offering me $800 for Kaladesh? And then I started going looking, and then you find out what was going on. I know. Sell a couple of boxes, get myself a bizarre Baghdad. I know. I'm a hoarder, man. I want to keep my stuff. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna finish my coffee, contemplate life, and probably watch the first season of The Witcher again. It was a good one, right? Yeah. See you guys soon.